to bring them into fashion. Everyone knows the theme song, do we not?
Yeah.
I said everyone knows the theme song, do we not?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, let's start singing, y'all.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play some shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a road-killed skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Oh, you're all nuts.
So, how you doing? Well, if this is any of your first time seeing me in person, this is how I am. Most people usually say I'm not that angry. So, this is me, this is what I'm like, and so I don't really have anything prepared for this panel. Usually, I'd like to have something like special sometime if there's time, but pretty much you're all running this panel. It's just going to be a Q&A, so whatever you want to ask me, then just ask me and we'll take it from there. So I want to just open it up to questions. What's up? Who would win in a fight, you or Keith? Well, he's got the Sega CD.
What's the shittiest game you've ever played?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, go back to that all the time. I think it's still Dr. Jekyll.
What in the whole world makes you more angry than shitty games?
Shitty questions. I can't really think of anything good for that, so I don't know.
What do you think of the irate gamer?
Answer as quickly as I can. I have no reason to answer it. I mean, he pretty much pretends that I don't exist, so why would I even need to say anything about him?
What's your favorite video game system and how many of them do you own?
Super Nintendo, and how many Super Nintendos do I own? Well, I had one that was really beat up, and I decided to beat it up even more in the Mario 3 review, if you remember that. So the only destruction I've done to a console was to a console that was already like falling apart. Because you leave one of those things in the sun for a while, they just become brittle. So yeah.
How did you become the nerd in the first place?
How did I become a nerd? Well, I guess I grew up with Nintendo, so I've always been a nerd. So, how did videos get started? It was really just a little side project. I'm into filmmaking, and the nerd was sort of like a detour. But it's been a cool detour because it's actually like sort of it's helped me. And after this is over, whenever, it's always going to be something on my resume. And I'm always going to be proud of that, and I have everybody in this room to thank for making that, popular, for doing that.
Do you actually drink beer while you're making the videos?
I haven't been doing it as much lately. The only one where I think I was legitimately buzzed was the Dr. Jekyll one. Because the more takes you do, you don't really see how much that multiplies. So, a lot of times, it's either water or it's in a flask and there's nothing in it or something. And a lot of times when I do this, it's really early in the morning, so usually I don't drink very early. So.
What do you use to make your shits?
The shit recipe is pretty much chunky peanut butter and chocolate syrup. You can use a variation on that recipe, but that's what it is.
How did you meet the critic?
Oh, well, I was kind of a fan of his videos, and he liked my videos, and then he's the one who started it. He started it. So he just did a video, and then eventually I did one back, and that's pretty much what that was. So yeah.
I had two questions. One was, of all the versions of Street Fighter 2, which is your favorite, and you played the Ghostbuster game yet?
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I guess, is my favorite one.
Alright.
And I played the Ghostbusters game at E3 for like 10 minutes, and I hope to play it more when it comes out. So, if it's out now, but what I mean is when I eventually get some time. But for now, I'm too busy playing some old shitty games, so.
What's the gem of your game collection?
Let's see. As far as consoles, maybe the Odyssey. It was the first gaming console that was, public. I have some pretty rare Nintendo games. One of them, Cheetah Man 2. There's like 1,500 copies in existence, and I have one of them. And it's a pretty shitty game, and considering how much I spent for it, it's pretty frightening. So.
How much? How do you meet? How do you meet Mike McKay, and how he ended up making all of the company unit projects up there?
How I met Mike Matei? The first night I met Mike Matei, I was at a party and I consumed an entire bottle of vodka. Mike will always remember that. I should have been dead, so alcohol is bad. But after that, I've always he's been my friend in college, so he would help me out with filming sometimes, and that's pretty much how I met him. Hey, what's up?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, during the filming of any of the Angry Video Game Nerd videos, was there ever occurrence that was, something technical or schedule-wise that happened way out of your control that just fucked over everything?
Something that just fucked up the video?
Yeah, something just like made you cry.
You want a piece
something
of
like nothing you control.
That wouldn't count. That one wasn't really something bad that happened during the production. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you know what? The Roger Rabbit video had this really long part where I was on camera and I forgot to have the microphone plugged in, so I ended up with just mute the whole time. I had no audio. I was so pissed off. That's why when you see that part, if you remember when I'm talking to Jessica Rabbit, I redubbed my voice back in. So that was only one little snippet of this long session that didn't make it in, and I remember that was pretty frustrating.